Well, good evening, good evening, good evening. I know that this is a shocker for a Tuesday night. Yes, indeed. You are listening to PG with Unapologetic Tea Time. I am your host this evening. You are listening to PG, and we are live. Hope everyone is doing well, and I hope that you are all practicing social distancing and remaining as safe as possible. Thank you for tuning in this evening to all of my loyal YouTube subscribers as well as my up and coming subscribers. Thank you, and thank you. Tonight, folks, this is part one of a two-part series entitled America Through My Eyes. This is part one of a two-part series called America Through My Eyes. You are listening to PG with Unapologetic Tea Time. First off, I'd like to quote from a scripture from First Corinthians chapter 10, verse 23. That is, I am going to be quoting from a scripture from the book of First Corinthians chapter 10, verse 23. I thought it would be very fitting to quote this scripture during this time in our lives right now, as we go along our daily way of life as we know it through this time. In the book of First Corinthians, chapter 10, verse 23, it says that all things that are lawful are not expedient. Everything you can do isn't the wise thing to do. Now, some of you didn't quite get that, perhaps, and I may need to repeat myself from First Corinthians chapter 10, verse 23. It says, all things that are lawful are not expedient. Everything you can do isn't the wise thing to do. And simply, that means just because the governor in your state or the mayor in your city and township or the alderman or the councilman or whomever decides to give authority and open up or tell you that you can do something does not mean just because it is lawful and is written in the law, or they have amended the law to make it lawful, that you can do such as opening up churches, large venues, bar rooms, whatever, gyms, and this and that, parks, and the river, and the ocean, and everything that you can think of. Just because it is lawful, y'all, does not mean that it is the right thing to do right now in this present time. I'm going to ask each and every one of my loyal subscribers, as well as my occasional listeners who tune in, and also people who may pop in on this and decide to join my YouTube channel as a subscriber. I'm going to ask that you use good discernment. Hey, Dallas, good seeing you on this evening. Hope that you are doing as well as you can during this trying time. I've been thinking about you. I'm going to get with you probably later on this week. I'm probably going to try to give you a phone call or at least reach out to you. I've been a little concerned about you, And I'm glad to see that you're on this evening. But moving along, like I said, folks, I am asking that everyone that listens to me right now or that will be listening to me again in the future will use good discernment in making wise choices, because the government or whomever says that it is so does not mean that it is safe to do so, or does not mean that it is wise for you to um, do such an act or do such business or do such an event, particularly when it is um, concerning your safety and well-being, as well as people that you will come in contact with, after you attend a church service or a particular event, or just happen to go to the nearest big bar room and crowd yourself in with a group of people who may not have your best interests at hand, and you contract something or perhaps bring it home to a family member or a friend or a coworker or whatever. Let's all practice good discernment, because if you know better, you can do better. If you stay safe, stay informed, it is vital to your survival in this time that we're going through and witnessing right now. I'm going to move on because, like I said before, I want to let each and every one of you know that this is part one of America Through My Eyes, and I will end on tomorrow night, my usual time at 10 p.m., with America Through My Eyes part two. Tonight is part one. I want to talk a little bit about all of the texts and all of the 5 or 6 phone calls that I have received over the last few weeks, and about 15 or 20 of the emails. Thank you so much, Dallas. Thank you for that. I have it, and I will definitely reach out to you. All of those things that people have reached out to me, and the questions to say, hey, PG, can you, what do you think about this? Or what do you think about that? And the first thing that I'm going to tackle tonight quickly is the amount of hatred and the amount of vileness that's coming out of the White House in DC, that is definitely enticing and giving fuel, adding fuel to the fire that's already burning. Where in regards to the just straight up hatred and the racist things that have been going on in and around the world and in this nation as we speak. And I'm talking about America, where we live, the United States of America. Hey, Ms. Monique. Hey, Aaron. Glad to see that you guys have joined me this evening. Thank you so much. The amount of hatred and the amount of racism that has been shown here lately is just unconscionable to me. And I'm going to talk briefly about the death of young Mr. Arbery, as well as a gentleman a little while ago who the police officers put their knee on this man's neck and tackled him. Of course, had him down on the ground. He cried out, I can't breathe, you're hurting me. And the man ended up dying a few hours later, after they had the nerve to take him to the hospital, all because there was a call in that talked about there was some forgery or fraud that was going on. Now, of course, we know that this could have been handled a whole lot differently. Also, Mr. Arbery's case, I'm not sure why the young gentleman was on that side of town in Clanville, US of A. I don't know. and it's very sad. They said he loved to jog or whatever. I don't know that that is all that took place. He could have maybe had a friend, because not necessarily everybody that has grandpas and daddies and all, that are staunch racists and bigots. Some members in their family don't feel that way at all. So this young man could have had an acquaintance or a particular friend in that area that maybe he jogged around to see, or whom, I don't know, because everything is still coming out as we speak on that case. But for black and brown people and yellow people and red people, it's a sin and a shame that we have to live in fear for our lives basically every day, and we cannot walk through or jog through a neighborhood or stop and see something of interest to us, like a new construction. I myself have stopped for new construction, not necessarily homes, but of businesses or industrial things that were going up, and I drove around and looked a little bit, and didn't see really anything wrong with it. It's just basically human nature, not necessarily being nosy. No, I wasn't going to get out and try to steal anything or whatever, but just the inquisitiveness of the time, or what you see of the structure that's being built or perhaps renovated, or especially coming up from the ground up, and you're just taking a look. You're not doing anything of ill will or anything to warrant something like what happened to Mr. Aubrey. I am certainly happy that um the law enforcement, the GBI of Georgia, and the state police and the others got involved only after people raised such an outcry that it was wrong, because it was wrong, and they were going to sweep that, like they swept the many of them, under the rug, and it was going to be no big deal, because his life as they saw it did not matter. But it does matter, because it's someone's life and it's someone's loved one, and it was a life that was taken senselessly away from his family and friends, on one particular day that these folks thought that they were the law, and that they could just gun down a person and chase them like a savage beast until he ended up with nowhere else to run, and they decided to take this young man's life. So for the folks who have called me and reached out to me and wanted to know my thoughts and sentiments, and some of my thoughts and sentiments have showed up on a couple of people's blogs that I gave little tidbits and interviews to, um, hell no, I don't agree with it at all. And because we are in such turmoil, and coming out from that White House has actually enraged people to think that they can do these things, and emboldening so many people, emboldened them in order to do these things, and to think that, hell, we can do what we want to do. Well, I'm going to say this, and I'm not inciting anything, so please don't take it this way. But the minute we start turning the tables like they have done to us, and do to them what they're doing to us, then maybe we can fucking get some respect. Maybe they can fucking get up off of our backs and our necks and shit. Okay? Maybe, just maybe, because these days you could be in your fucking house and you can't even eat some fucking ice cream and be in your own damn apartment where you live at, and someone runs off in there and shoots you, okay? Kills you, eating some goddamn ice cream in your drawers. You know what I'm saying? Hello, Renee. How are you? Glad to see that you're on this evening. It's sinful. And until we start doing what we need to do, showing up and showing out in massive amounts, this shit is going to continue to happen, because they have turned back the fucking hands of time. It's like we're living in the 50s and the fucking 60s, Whereas we used to could at least be able to call the police and get someone up off of us or whatever. But now, if someone was breaking into my fucking house, this young man that I know, that I knew, the fucking police shot him. Someone was goddamn they were breaking into this man's house. He lived in a nice subdivision, worked every day, a professional, deserved to have a nice place, whatever he wanted, wasn't bothering anybody. Somebody was breaking in. He called the damn police on the phone with 911. And thank God those calls are recorded. The fucking police gets there, finds out he's black, and shoots him. But he's in his house on the phone because he's being burglarized. Meanwhile, the burglar, the perpetrators, was running. They saw them running up the driveway trying to get out to the street. But they shoot this man in his fucking house. This young lady, they shoot her. She went to take care of her mother, who was deathly ill in the hospital, keeping her nephew, looks out the window because they're lurking in her yard at whatever time of day, at night it was, shoot, kill her through the fucking window. All kinds, it's too much going on. Time to turn the fucking tables, okay? This is through my eyes because I'm 55 years of age and I've seen an awful lot. My mother was black, my father was white. I remember when they wrote the word nigger lover in bleach on our front yard, on our front lawn as a child. Okay, I remember when they threw a Molotov cocktail and damn near burned down our first house. Okay, I remember when these white guys, young college students, threw piss out the window onto my dad one day as he was cutting his fucking own front yard. I was outside that day playing, an only child from my mother and father's marriage. This is too much. It's too much. Too much going on. And until we come together and stop this, we're going to continue to have problems, and it's not going anywhere, y'all. It's going to get worse. So I'm asking each and every one of you to, let's not turn a deaf's ear and just say, oh, well, they ain't going to do anything. Keep pressing on. Keep hollering. Keep screaming. Keep going to your council meetings. Keep going. Keep calling the legislative branches and keep doing what needs to be done. And sooner or later, they'll get it through their fucking head that, well, they ain't taking this no more. See? Because I'm sorry to say that if a motherfucker tries to break in here and I'm home, or I awake and I'm startled during the night with some bullshit, I'm going to leave your ass right where you stand or was trying to get in. I'm not fucking calling the police. Okay? I'm going to call the motherfuckers after the fact. Okay? Because I can't trust that where I live is very nice. I can't trust that you will judge me and think, well, this big black bitch don't deserve to be there. We're going to shoot her. Okay? So I'm going to shoot and ask questions later. That way, it'll be my word and then the cop's word. But the perpetrator, whatever, they may not have a word, because I'm going to try my level best. And I'm not trying to say that I have malice in my heart or I have, that on my mind. But I'm just merely saying, if this happens, I have no choice. The choice that I'm going to have to make is be me or them. I can't call the police necessarily because, hell, they might gun me down and I'm already in my place of residence and somebody's trying to get in. So I might as well shoot through the fucking door or the window. I stand a better chance taking care of it myself and then telling them after the fact so they can make their report when they get here. Okay? And that's all I'm saying. Think twice about what it is that you have to do. And mothers And fathers out here that may be listening or is going to be listening, if you got sons and daughters, get them a fucking camera for their cars, because it'll let it turn on and come on when as soon as the motor starts up. Because when these young men get stopped, Lord, there's no telling what goes on. Okay, so at least when that officer walks up to that vehicle or whatever, put that camera on their fucking ass. At least the camera ain't gonna lie. They may turn their body cam off or whatever, but let yours continue to roll. Teach your sons and daughters, okay, how and what to do and what to say and what not to do when and if they ever get stopped. It just may save their life, and it may save you from utter grief of having to bury your child or having to have your child in a state of no return, laying in a coma somewhere in a hospital room or something where they will never ever be the same. Because they ain't playing out here today. So let's not play either. I invite each and every one of you to get a camera for your young children of driving age or whatever, even if they're gone off to college, 19, 20, 21, it don't matter. If you can't be with them every second of the day, which we can't, get them some kind of camera. Teach them how to use it or whatever. I know that kids think, oh, ma, oh, daddy, oh, you worry too much. Well, you can't worry too much these days because you got every motherfucking body to watch and then some. You got to look over your shoulder. You got Corona, her ass dancing through everything she could possibly. She dancing on top of the tables. The bitch at the swimming pools. She at the beaches. She in the clubs. She in the bar rooms. She at the barbershops. She at the fucking hospitals. She in the Uber cars, she in the Lyft cars, she every fucking where. She on the subway, she on mass transportation, she on the transit, the MARTA buses, she every fucking where, okay? She in the parks, all right? She at the laundromats or the washateers, she everywhere, okay? Then you got to watch out for the bigots and the racists. I'm telling y'all, this is through my eyes. PG. I don't give a fuck. All right. I don't give two fucks about what somebody thinks of me, because this is my fucking YouTube channel. And this is Unapologetic Tea Time with your host, PG, and that's me. This is my fucking opinion. And I'm just giving it to you. And I'm going to give it to you uncut, uncensored, and raw, because when you try to sugarcoat shit, people miss the whole gist of it. They don't seem to understand. They just don't. But that's my opinion. But I'm telling y'all, get your people, your children, your people, your loved ones, some cameras or whatever, your elderly people, okay? Some damn city in Oklahoma somewhere, a goddamn fucking police officers, they slammed a 68-year-old woman down to the ground, and her 40-some-year-old son was already there to look in on his elderly mother. Now, he lived in Virginia. He done drove countless miles to where his mama lived at. Her TV was broke or wasn't big enough or whatever. She was having trouble. He went and bought her a 65-inch fucking TV from Sam's or whatever. The vehicle that they rode together in to get the TV was too small to fit the TV, so they went back home to get another vehicle. Showed back up, and this motherfucker threw this woman down on. Now they got their receipt. They didn't even pay attention to what the clerks say. Oh, they paid for it. They just coming back to get the receipt. Okay, they threw them people down to the ground, fractured that woman's tailbone, did some other stuff. This man had to get stitches in his head, all kinds of stuff. And that woman, those shrieking screams from that lady sent chills through my body listening to that video, looking at that video. A damn shame. Okay? If they do that to some elderly person who already done paid for a fucking TV, What the fuck you think they'll do to you? Okay? What do you think they would do to you? That's sinful. That's sinful. And that woman was screaming. She thought that they were going to kill her son right before her eyes. She wasn't even worried about herself. And then he called for backup. Didn't even ask to see the receipt or nothing. Just automatically assumed shopping while black, you done stole it. I would sue them. I would sue the police department. I would sue Sam's Club for not protecting me. Every motherfucker, I would sue them till I got fucking tired. You understand? I'd sue everybody. Thank God for the citizens that stopped and took that video. Okay? 3 videos were taken. The Sam's Club video and the 2 citizens took the video, and they all were the same exact thing. It's sinful. This is the world we live in. Plus, we got the fucking coronavirus to contend with as well. It don't make no sense, y'all. It does not make any goddamn sense. So I'm telling y'all, do what you need to do to protect yourself. I'm not inciting rioting. I'm not inciting just beating the hell out of somebody, but do what you need to do to protect yourself. You go to get your merchandise or whatever, make 2, 3, 4 copies of your receipt if you need to. Tape that motherfucker to the front of your chest if need be. Ask the fucking clerk, can y'all walk me out? Escort me out because I don't want no shit. Okay? Stand there, tell member of management, somebody, do what you need to do to protect yourself. And it's a sin and a shame that we got to do this kind of shit. But I don't fucking mind doing it because guess what? I'm going to protect myself. And when shit break out, God in heaven knows. Only the strong survive. But if you fuck with me, I don't know what might pop the fuck off. You see? I can't promise you that it's going to be a good outcome, but I know one thing. PG can promise that the motherfuckers will know that they've been in a fight or a confrontation, or they may not need to call fucking the ambulance. They might need to go ahead and call the coroner's office. I don't know, because I can't promise you what might not occur. But I can say this, I'm going to try to protect myself from going to the coroner's office instead. Now, I might have to go to the hospital, but I'm going to try my level best to send the other one to the hospital, or they're going to have to, it's either one or the other. They got it one or the other. But I know I'm going to tell you this, they ain't going to be going to their fucking house if they fuck with me. That day they won't be. They might make it there later, like in a few days or a few weeks or something, but they won't be going to their house that day. And it's a shame you got to do that or say shit like that, but this is too much. It's too much. Now I'm going to move on, but the last thing I'm going to talk about quickly is Becky ass done struck again. Now we got Becky ass. I call because y'all know they got the crazy ass white folks, and I love my daddy was fucking white, so I don't see color, but I just said animated and comically. But you got some crazy ass white folk. I'm not talking about just the staunch bigots, but just fucking crazy in their ass crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, who the fuck let you out, baby? You need to be somewhere where they can watch your ass, where you don't have to go out into society. They need to go ahead on, get you a nice place, and they come in and cook for you, clean for you. You don't need to go no damn where without an escort. Because, see, we can't let you loose because you do too much. Becky asked last week. Now, let me tell y'all, black folks, we do everything white folks do. Also, we do everything Africans do. We do everything Latinos do. We play golf. We are pilots. We like to jet ski. We like to swim in the ocean. We go snorkeling. We go scuba diving. We go surfing. We play beach volleyball. We play tennis. We play pool. We bowl professionally. We play, like I say, golf. Let me see what else. We play horseshoes. We ride horses. We do all kinds. We even bird watch. Okay. Now, crazy ass Becky, she in Central motherfucking Park. Y'all all know where Central Park is. Becky ass, this brother happened to be bird watching and is an avid bird watcher and has beautiful photos of all types of birds that he has taken over the years. He happens to be minding his fucking own business in Central Park, and here Becky ass is with Doggy Bobo the dog, and her ass, she don't have Bobo on a leash. Bobo a little feisty fucker, like his mammy, thinking he could do what the fuck he wanted, and rent across there and then rat up at the man who watching birds and trying to get his little photograph or whatever. He ain't bother nobody. So he says to her politely, ma'am, could you leash your dog, please? Guess what the fuck Becky done? Guess what Becky did, y'all? Y'all know what Becky ass did? Becky called the law. Becky ass called the police on the man. First off, in Central Park, you are to have your dogs on a leash. If you walking your kitty cat, the cat got to be on a leash. Okay, cats, yes, they do walk on a leash. Some cats you could train them. I've had 3 cats and they all walked up. I've had hundreds. I mean, literally, I'd probably say 20 cats in my lifetime, but 3 of them were trainable to walk on a leash. My last one, Tuga would walk on a leash when need be. He loved to take rides, and a lot of times I would take him to this little park, and he loved to get out. He would like to chase the squirrels, so I bought a nice leash for Tuga, and Tuga ass could chase the squirrels up the tree. And he would sit at the base of the tree and wait for the squirrels to come down, but he didn't understand that the squirrels were not going to come down while he was sitting there waiting on them to come down. So anyway, he would have fun, and people would just stop and they would question me about him and say how beautiful he was, because he was solid black, beautiful, just beautiful. I would brush him and his coat was silky. But nevertheless, Becky ass called the police on this man. All right, when the police got there, Becky told them that he told her to leash her dog, and she didn't feel that it was necessary. So they cited her ass with a citation that was, walking your dog or whatever in a public place without a leash. So Becky ass was mad as fuck. So the tables turned on Becky. All right, y'all, get this. Now, Becky ass, the man recorded this, and another bystander did the same thing. All right, didn't come to Becky's defense, but this was the same color as Becky, but yet gave the officer his take of what happened and said that Becky got real belligerent with the man, and the man only asked her after the dog kept running over there trying to like nip at the man's ankles and shit, because it was a small dog, that could she please leash the dog, Anyway, long story short, she gets a ticket. Becky later gets on YouTube and apologizes. By then, guess what? Her employer saw the video of Becky ass acting a fool in Central Park. So she was suspended. Then they decide 2 days later, they fired that ass today. Okay. I guess they had, because it was the holiday weekend and everything. Becky ass got fired today, y'all. All right. Now, I keep telling y'all, go ahead on. Every time they do some trick shit like this, some fuckery, go ahead on and apply for their fucking job. whatever her fucking job was, find out what it was, and y'all ass go over there and apply for Becky damn job. See what I'm saying? Now, it keep on happening. They keep on trying to teach them a lesson, and they keep taking their damn jobs away from them. Now, Becky ass ain't got no job, and it's the fucking coronavirus going around. Now, she got to not only figure out what the hell she gonna do. Hopefully, she got a husband, and he working on Social Security or whatever. I don't know. Hopefully, she can find some kind of means to support herself and that damn little rugrat of a dog that she didn't want to leash in Central Park. Now she got to pay the fine, and now she got to try to figure out how she gonna get some funding because she don't have a job. So if y'all in the area, go find where Becky ass was working near Central Park or whatever, and y'all go apply for Becky's job. There's a job opening. See, that's how we do that. Now, moving right along, and of course, y'all are still listening to Unapologetic Tea Time with your host, PG, that's me. Don't forget to go over to my blog at the unapologetic-time with pg.com, and I know y'all can see this shit on the screen. So please do me a favor, sooner or later, go over there and follow me on my blog at unapologetic-time with pg.com. The next thing I want to talk about, y'all, is the testing of and for the coronavirus, whether you have it or not, and whether you have had it, and if so, do you have any antibodies that can help you weather the storm when and if you should contract it again? According to the CDC, I was reading my paper, and why did I'm like, what the fuck? Why, y'all? The CDC done got on there and said that it has been brought to their attention from all of the skewed numbers and results from the antibody tests that over 50% of the time, according to the CDC, the goddamn testing for the antibodies have been wrong. This is because this dotard in chief, this buffoon that's supposed to be the leader of the free world, keeps getting all of these companies involved in making test kits and doing tests and developing test kits at a fast rate, who should not be developing test kits. Okay? If I make a fucking car and that is my expertise, I shouldn't be making tests to test for no goddamn antibodies for a virus. If my expertise as a company, if I make fucking cars, electric cars, or if I make goddamn tape guns and tape dispensers, I have no goddamn business. Just because I say I can does not mean. Now, I could probably make a test my damn self. Okay? Because I was quite good at college chemistry and biology. Okay. However, that's not my field of expertise. My field of fucking expertise is computer science, and I'm a business major. All right. I have no business making a fucking test for some goddamn trying to make me a little bit richer. So we need to stop that. And as citizens of this great nation, we need to put our feet down. You need to put your foot down and demand, call your congressman, call your senators, call your council people, call your mayor's office, call your governors, call every goddamn body in the goddamn yellow pages, the blue pages, the white pages, the internet, Google, Yelp, whatever, find their fucking numbers, call them, send a letter, send an email, and keep bombarding their asses and keep pressure on these people to stop some of these companies from making these bogus tests to get rich quickly And that's not doing the fucking population any goddamn good. When 50% of the tests are inaccurate, well, then that lets me know right good goddamn well that the test that you drive through to get a throat swab, a nasal swab or whatever to see if you got coronavirus, half of them motherfuckers ain't right either. Okay? It is imperative that we do testing in this nation. It is imperative that we have contact tracing. Okay? And it is also imperative that we continue to practice staying the fuck at home, staying away from large crowds, social distancing, and wearing a goddamn mask. It is imperative for our fucking survival. Okay? Because this too shall pass. But hell, I don't know at the rate we going in this nation. I don't know how fucking long this gonna take. It's gonna take more than a few months. This motherfucker gonna be here for a while. Okay? But I need $70 test, Dallas. That's a $70 test. $70 my ass. I wish I would pay $70 for a fucking test and then the test. And y'all can't guarantee me that the goddamn test gonna be accurate. Well, fuck you, because I ain't taking it. Another thing, you keep taking these goddamn tests. When they gonna round motherfuckers up and say, okay, you was quarantined for 14 days, you had the coronavirus, you tested, come out with a no, we ain't going down that road. Y'all gonna have to tell me something different. Okay? You gotta tell me something different. Catch me, motherfucker, if you can. And I'm gonna knock on wood on this damn desk that I'm in front of right now. That's real mahogany wood. Catch me, bitch, if you can. Because but we need the testing for people who have the symptoms and for people who, have had, bad bouts with the flu in the last couple of months, bad bouts, or they thought they had coronavirus, perhaps, or whatever. We need that to find out whether or not they have the antibodies so that they can take some of those results. Those type of results, y'all, will help develop a vaccine. But they say that they are rushing to develop one. They're not rushing because they can make more money off of the American people without a vaccine right now. See, once the vaccine comes into play, then the amount of money that they will be getting will be a little bit lesser. You see, follow the money trail. Follow the money trail. Honey, I ain't preaching. I'm just giving you the good old FACTS fucking facts. Follow the money trail. Okay? Now, for most states, some of the states have had their primaries already and others have not. It will be early voting. Some states have early voting taking place, like the state of Georgia. Others are going to be following in the next week or two or whatever, if they haven't already had the primary starting up or have started and have gone through it already before the virus. I need you guys and gals to participate. Whether you are a Trumper or whether you are a Biden candidate or write your fucking name in on the ballot your damn self or whatever. I need everybody to either send in their absentee ballots, okay? Or I need you to drape yourself in a garbage bag, some goddamn gloves, a mask, wrap a turban on your head, wear a goddamn sun visor and some sunshades and some goggles or something to protect your eyes, some earmuffs if need be to protect your ears and shit. You don't want nothing. Put some shit on your shoes, tie some plastic bags on them, motherfucker, and go up in there and pull those levers and punch in your damn vote, okay, for the primaries, because we are facing a critical election come November. All right? Don't be fooled in them telling you, oh, well, you might as well stay home. Your vote not going to count. Everybody's fucking vote does count. I don't want to hear about that crazy shit. No, my vote don't count. I don't give a fuck. It counts. Get your asses to the polls and fucking pull that lever and vote. Do whatever the hell you need to do. Fucking vote is all I'm saying. I don't care how you get there. Take a Uber, take a Lyft, ride your bicycle, your tricycle, the skateboard. Fucking put out your fucking thumb if you need to. Call a family member, call a friend, whatever you need to do. You sit in the front, they sit in the back, sit on opposite sides, whatever you need to do. Take your goddamn plastic bag with you, put a little duct tape up there, and you sit in the back or whatever, and that way you can safeguard yourself. Do what is necessary, because we got to get this goddamn administration. We got to clean the swamp. We have to drain the goddamn swamp, because that is literally a fucking petri dish that then it's just infected with all kind of vile and all kinds of shit and all kinds of vomit and everything else that's running loose through that damn White House. We got to clean that motherfucker completely out. Now, this is through my eyes, but I'm asking y'all to please participate in the primaries. Vote however you can, whether it be by mail in some states, absentee ballot, or fucking in person, but get there. Please get there, because November is critical. Let's talk about this motherfucker demanding a guarantee that the GOP, National Convention, the Republicans Convention in North Carolina that's supposed to come up in August, will be able to have a packed house. As dangerous as it is, who in their right mind, there's no one on the face of the earth that's crazy enough or asinine enough to guarantee, because let me tell you, ain't shit guaranteeable these days. All right? Not Google, not the goddamn news media, the newspaper. Tomorrow ain't guaranteed, thanks to Corona and thanks to everything else that's going on right now. Ain't shit guaranteed, and can't nobody guarantee shit these days. Nobody, no one. Not the governor, not the mayor, not the goddamn so-called leader of the free world, that dotard motherfucker in chief, orange Cheeto ass man, lying ass Donald J. Jackass Trump can't guarantee shit, except that he gonna get on Twitter and tweet some vile, obscene, racist, lying bullshit. That's about all that his ass can guarantee every goddamn day, is that's what he's gonna do. Okay? That's what I'm telling you, and that's what I believe, PG, to be true. This is my opinion, and you are listening to Unapologetic Tea Time with PG. And I am not apologizing for anything tonight and in no time soon, because that's not what I fucking do. Okay? Not when I'm telling the truth or how I feel. You can like my opinion or you can lump it. It doesn't matter to me, because I don't give two fucks. All I'm saying is, and I'm not trying to sway anybody into thinking like I think, I'm giving the facts. You can use good discernment, take what you can in the information that I'm giving out. Go do your own research. But I'm giving you a little food for thought just to put it on your mind a little bit. And you can go from there. And you can discern whatever it is, use the good discernment, and do your own research. Because I trust and believe, before I get my ass on here, I've done mine. And sometimes it takes longer than usual to do it, because I have to check, fact check, recheck, and check again before I turn it loose. Because before I tell you something wrong, I'm not going to get my ass on here and tell you anything at all. But this man wants a guarantee from the Democratic governor, who happens to be a Democrat in North Carolina, that the Republican convention can have a packed house. That's the most asinine, craziest thing. But this is what this man is thinking. Fuck everything else. Fuck the children that's dying from something rare that has popped up okay, symptomatic of in children that is a spinoff from COVID-19. Fuck that. We don't care about the children. He don't. He don't care how many died. He don't care about the elderly. He doesn't care. This man even mocked Joe Biden, and he older than Joe Biden's ass because Joe Biden is less than a man for wearing a fucking mask, him and his wife, to protect themselves when they left their goddamn house going out in public yesterday to put a wreath at the National Cemetery in Delaware, or wherever the hell Joe was. If that ain't some crazy shit, but you worrying about the wrong thing. But this is what this dotard in chief does. Okay? But nobody can guarantee that there'll be a packed house any goddamn where anytime soon. So just like he wanted to dip his foot in the difference between separation of church and state, you cannot demand any church to open their doors. You can't make any states make their churches open their doors. I'm like, this man is retarded. Something wrong with him. And I'm not using that word, and God forgive me, I'm not using that word in the sense of like for little children or really people who suffer from retardation or have mild retardation or whatever. This man has he's something wrong with him. Something is seriously wrong, and the bitch ain't just senile. Something is wrong. But yeah, we cannot guarantee anything, y'all. And it's sad, but there may have to be a virtual Democratic convention, national convention, and it may have to be a virtual Republican national convention. You know, because these states have opened up this past weekend, y'all. Motherfuckers was at the beaches looking like ants. You know, so many of them. You couldn't even hardly see the ocean. All you saw was specks of people everywhere. You know, everywhere. You got parks that was running over. You had places that had opened up public swimming pools, and you couldn't even see the sides of the pool for the amount of people that was in those pools. In Arkansas, I mean, just unreal. So, and none of them had masks on. There was no social distancing. They just threw all that shit out the window to have a good time for the Memorial Day weekend. Now, in the next few weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, let's keep an eye out on our numbers and see what the numbers are going to start to look like if there's not an uptick, which I'm praying that there isn't, because we don't need an uptick, because some of the states right now or that haven't really saw the gist of everything yet with this virus are now beginning to see an uptick in their numbers, such as Alabama. The city of Montgomery has run completely out of ICU beds. There are no more. They're having to send deathly ill people and critically ill patients from Montgomery, Alabama to Birmingham, which is an hour away, an hour and 10 minutes away. Okay. Now you have Brazil is the new hot epicenter. We got a lot going on. Then we got little fires popping up here and there and everywhere. And then let's add into the mix, y'all, in the next 2.5, let's say good 3.5 weeks, the outcome of what was done this past weekend for the 3-4 day holiday. Then we got to worry about that. Adding those numbers into the mix. So I pray that I just pray that the numbers are low, you know, but there's probably going to be some people that are going to be sick or that's going to get sick from this craziness. And if you don't value your life that well, then kudos to you. I hope you had a really good time. And I say to you, keep going, honey. Keep going. Knock your fucking self out. Go to all the bars you want. Go to the titty bars. Go everywhere. go to the beer bars, go swimming, go to the ocean, go to the beach, go to the restaurants, go in it and everywhere. Keep going. Don't stop. Keep it going. Okay? Because we're already going to be short on jobs because places are not going to come back as we're learning. Plus, stores that have opened back up just are not seeing the amount of people and traffic that they thought that they would see. Restaurants have tried to redo their whole business, not their plan, but their whole business structure, and try to restructure their whole business routine of how they go about their normal business day in order to be accommodating. Some of these places can't last because the amount of overhead that they have to pay versus the amount of revenue that they're taking in right now is just not cutting it. Then we had the paycheck protection plan. That loan didn't that was a flop with the SBA. We had the EIDL grant, and loan. That was a big ass flop. Some small businesses got it, some didn't. I filled out for 3 small businesses to help some friends. And they still waiting, haven't heard anything, except they did get one generic little, yeah, we got your application or whatever. Nothing. It's been weeks and weeks and weeks. And what I've told them is to call, write, call their congressman who's over certain SBA, places and different things, send a certified letter, do whatever it is you can, because without the help, these people cannot survive. They cannot. We have such a long way to go, and you rush to open the country. It was too soon in certain places, just like in other places, it was too soon. But yet, we're going to put lives over money, but we flipped it and put money over people's lives. And it's unfortunate. The next big thing that we have to look to are the children, and how will we protect the children in the fall of this coming school year? Will there be school? How are you going to do the social distancing with the little ones? They don't know how to social distance. They're used to hugging their teachers. They're used to that motherly thing with teachers and their teachers' aides, the little ones, the elementary school children. How are we going to do that? How are we going to protect our children? How are we going to protect our teachers and administrators? What are we going to do? Because the next topic that I'm going to talk about right now, y'all, is 1 in 5 teachers are unlikely. 1 in every 5 are unlikely in the United States to return to the classroom this fall because they are afraid for their safety, and they are afraid that there's no particular plan of action, a course of action that is being taken right now so that they will at least have some type of roadmap. It's already the end of May. We're talking about June. In less than 3 months, in some areas of the country, school will be opening again for the fall of 2020. So we have a problem. And in order to social distance in some schools, or in most schools, you would have to build more buildings onto the school grounds in order to accommodate the children, to at least try to make it a safe learning environment for everyone. And that's just not something that is perhaps going to happen. Then you have high schools and middle schools that have populations of over 1,000 kids. Some high schools have 2,000 and 3,000 students. How are you going to social distance these kids? You know, when you have teachers who have already an overload in their classrooms, normally without anything else, without any type of airborne or contagious deadly virus going on, when you have teachers that have to teach 30 to 37 to 38 students or 40 students in a classroom, where are you going to put the desks? You have no room to space out desks, 6 feet apart. It would take 3 classrooms to hold one teacher's class. They don't have that amount of space. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I pray that they get something straight sooner than later, because I would not risk my child's life. I'd have to take him out and have to homeschool him for a couple of years, because I could not send my child to school because I can't trust that they're going to be safe, or I can't trust that they're going to go to school, be safe, and then they're around all these people, and then they bring home something to me or their grandmother or their grandfather or their aunt or their uncle or whatever. That, no, I just don't know what to say about that. It's just perplexing to me. But yeah, y'all. And the last thing, I'm going to do 5 different topics. I'm going to talk about 5 different things on both of the parts of the series. And the last thing that I'm going to talk about tonight, y'all, and I'm going to get on up off of here, is the amount of money that was given for this past stimulus plan. We really truly are going to need a second stimulus package. Okay, I'm saying package, not necessarily just a stimulus check. Okay, because to be honest, some of the people who got the $1,200, and I'm not complaining, but $1,200 ain't shit. It's a little bit of help, but for like people in New York, in LA, in Vegas, different places of the country, your rent is more than $1,200 if they're renting on average. Okay, that's it just is. That's the way it is. So I'm not quite sure what they're going to do next, but really and truly for 6 months or so, or 12 months, there really, in my opinion, y'all, needs to be another stipend that needs to be given out monthly to people, to certain people in different economic situations, because it's just not enough like a one-time $1,200 payment, or if they decide to do another $1,200 payment. And of course, we're not going to see that, if we see anything at all, until the early fall, like September probably, or late August, maybe October, which by then some people will be homeless by then, because by then they're talking about not extending the unemployment, the extra unemployment compensation. Now, your state unemployment will continue, but that extra $600 or $500 or whatever people, the extra, is going to end, I believe, July 31st or sometime in July, but I believe it's the 31st, the last I had checked. So once that ends, some of the unemployment that people are going to receive is just not going to be enough to sustain them. Then the unemployment that they're receiving has already like discontinued food stamps for them, or disqualify them totally for food stamps. They have children, whatever. So, I mean, the little bit of money that they're going to get, then they're going to have to buy food out of that too, and pay for shelter and whatever else. I mean, I don't know how this is going to work, because by then other businesses, trust and believe, will have closed down, while others will be opening or starting to open some more or whatever. more will have closed down by then. Or some people will be getting the word that they're not going to be able to go back to work full time. Their employers are going to bring them back perhaps maybe part time or on an as needed basis. Or there's a lot that goes into this. So yes, there will need to be another stimulus package. The amount of the stimulus package, y'all, will need to be just as large, if not larger. And let's not forget, we are in an election year. So the repugs are going to have to loosen their belt a little bit around their digestive system and digest a little bit more and compromise more, unfortunately, that they want to with the Democrats. Because there again, we are in an election year and some of their seats in the Senate are up for re-election. And if they planning on becoming re-elected, then they need to do what is right by the people. They work, remember, for us. We don't work for them. They work for us. We put them in office and we can get their asses out of office by going to the polls and voting. So yes, there will be another stimulus package, but what it will consist of, I am not sure yet. Because, of course, they want the American citizens to go back to work while Congress is still on break. But that's a topic for discussion at another time. But yes, there will be definitely another stimulus package. The PG is not saying definite that there will be another stimulus check in your hands. Some people did not use the first stimulus check correctly, whereas others did, whereas others had to use it for shelter or whatever. But some people went out and bought ass, they bought hair, they bought dick, they bought pussy, they bought whatever, and didn't bother to put. They bought drugs, they bought alcohol, they got online and bought clothes, purses. Some motherfuckers bought shoes, perfume, whatever, and did not put anything back for a rainy day. Some could not put anything back for a rainy day, but others who could have didn't. So I don't know how that's going to go. I guess, to each his own, but it's going to get a little rougher and a little rougher as we continue to go forward this year. So my message to all of you before I love you and leave you this evening is to try your level best to put back what you can for a rainy day. Food prices are going up on a weekly basis. Try to get a little bit of a stockpile in your pantry as best you can. It's going to be a little tight. It's going to be a little tough, but it is certainly doable. But you have to be disciplined to do it. You may not be what necessarily you like to eat or want to eat, but it would at least give you some nourishment. If you can't buy the frozen stuff and stack it back as far as frozen veggies, then you need to buy the canned veggies and stuff, because you need protein, you need vegetables, you need certain things to keep your body in as much of a safety net and good health as you possibly can. Not everyone can afford to buy the best of the best, but you can make good decisions and good choices when you go to the grocer. If 2 or 3 people can put together and buy in larger quantities and split it, you can save a few dollars that way. So please put your thinking caps on. Later on tonight, I do have a few articles that are going to be posted to my blog at www.unapologetic-timewithpg.com, or it will actually post in the morning. Sometimes Tumblr, for some reason, does not post accurately at the time that it was told to post these articles. So bear with me on that. But by tomorrow, those articles will be up there for your view. And you can, perhaps garner some information that you can use, take what you can, share with others, and keep moving. With that being said, you guys, I love you all. Thank you for tuning in. To all of my new and upcoming subscribers, I want to thank you. Thank you to the people who will come behind you guys that have already tuned in tonight. Thank you in advance. Thank you for going over to my blog and following me there. And I want you all to know that without you, my channel would be nothing. So thank you. Please be safe. Do what you need to do to keep you and yours as safe as you can. Try to wear your mask. Continue to wash your hands vigorously. Continue to wipe down doorknobs, handles, cabinet knobs, cabinet handles, and things in your home. Make sure your bathrooms and kitchens are clean. Do the best you can with what you have to work with. If you need resources, there are some resources that are available, but you have to let people know in those resource areas what it is that you need. Just don't wait until the last minute, because there's more people out here that need resources than you. With that being said, thank you all again. Much love to you all. Be safe and take care of yourself. And tomorrow night, I will be on with the second part of my series called America Through My Eyes, Part 2. Thank you. I love you. Good night. Bye now.